Most people think that doing electrical roughing for a bathroom, it's very simple. It's just outlets, lights, and the fan. But it is actually much more than that, because bathrooms have their special code, and then there's a lot of tile that goes into them. So it's very important to plan everything ahead of time. In this episode, we're going to be taking care of the office or guest bathroom and the main bathroom. You can see we have actually a skylight right above the shower, so this is going to be a beautiful bathroom. Probably not the biggest bathroom you'll see in this build, but it should be relatively similar to the other one. Let's get into it. Let's begin with the guest bathroom. I've already kind of decided where all the outlets will be. There's a little bit of code related to them, but I will get into those in a moment. And of course, most importantly, I've already consulted with the wife, and that this is what she wants to do. So we're in agreement. A lot of plumbing will be happening here. So what you can see right here is the outlets. These bottom outlets will be at about 14 inches from the floor. And then we have defined these outlets right here, this one and that one. These guys will be over the sink because the sink ends around here and it's about 62 inches. This will be about 5 inches from the surface of the sink. And other than that, it is actually pretty straightforward. We have a little hallway to this side, but hallways don't actually require outlets. And this is basically like a 2-3 feet hallway, so we won't be putting any outlets on that. We also have a little wall on this side, and we won't be putting any outlets on that either, because all of these outlets are within 6 feet of that wall, and then everything else is just wet areas. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run a laser to make sure that all my outlets are perfectly aligned. By code, every bathroom needs to have its own circuit, and it needs to be a 20 amp circuit that is GFCI and AFCI, because all of the circuits in the house need to be AFCI. So what we do is we use dual breakers, AFCI, GFCI, and we take it a step further, making them smart breakers. As you can see right here, here's the sub panel. This is the cable. This is a super small circuit going on through here. I am actually using the same hole that I made for what we call the Zen area, where the episode where we discussed the metal and the windows and whatnot. This is 1-inch hole. In reality, that's the maximum number of cables that you can run through this hole, 3. And to be honest, I actually prefer to do 2, generally speaking. But in this case, since we're almost done with this particular area circuit-wise, it made sense to run the 3 cables. It's only this small section that we're running 3 cables. We land here on the outlet up. So the vanity is going to be around here. So we're going to have one here, one underneath it, and then it's going to come down. There's going to be like some kind of P-trap around here. So we have the outlet next to it in case we want to set up like some kind of whatever. It's available for whatever. And here we have our remaining 5 total circuits. What you see right here is actually our Sigamarex. We have an episode on this that happened, I think, a year ago or something. What Sigamarex is a smart vapor barrier, meaning it allows water to go out from the cavity to the the living space, but it doesn't allow water to go or vapor to go from the living space into the cavity. So that's very important to protect the house, and then also for air tightness. We will have a whole video on this later on. I'm just mentioning it because, as you can see, I put some. But the reason I put it is because we need to protect this space, but at the same time we need to pass inspection because the inspector needs to see all these hangers, connectors, blah 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 blah. So I put these small sections so that we can fill it up with insulation once we pass inspection, and then finally we can cover it all. So I did the bare minimum that we could so that we could work later. In fact, see here, I didn't staple it on the sides so that we can actually put insulation in there, but I did put it in the center so that I could run my cables and whatnot. Okay, cool. Finally, what you see right here is a junction box where we are intending to connect the mirror, because the mirror is probably going to have some kind of power. So most likely what will end up happening here, we'll need to probably build some kind of niche around it into the cavity, and then we can connect the mirror, and then when all the finished materials is set, then the mirror can be nice and flush against the wall. With the office bathroom roughed in, let me show you how the office looks like. Actually, I have a few different episodes here, spoilers that you can see. We have the final deck, we have a networking episode, we have the ERV, so we have at least 4 videos that have not come out fully all in this place. This is a very straightforward circuit for the office. We're giving it its own exclusive 15 amp circuit. I always run the outlets with a 20 amp, a 12-2 wire, so very straightforward. The only thing and biggest takeaway is that we put USB outlets by locations where there's like a little like living space or whatnot. Here are the renders somewhere of how the office looks like, and that is because that way you can be chilling, hook up your laptop, cell phone, whatever. That's the one thing that we end up doing here. Let's go to the master bathroom. I messed up. I stapled the cable. I was about to go home. Check this out. So that can only mean one thing. I hide it, and then the inspector never finds out. No, I need to replace it. I actually got lucky enough. It's actually a very short cable. See? Oh well, I get to stay here a little bit longer. So kind of important to remove the staples too, because you don't want them to cause any future damage, and that would actually be worse because you wouldn't find out. In a previous video, one of you commented that I should get a wire dispenser, and I did, and it's actually pretty nice. It's pretty awesome. It pulls the cable very nice and straight. Even though, like for this big span, because the cables need to go to the circuit breaker over there, I actually pulled the entire cable length, and then I made sure that it was perfectly straight, and then I rolled it back in, and that worked out beautifully. It was a piece of cake. The cable was coming out nicely. Now, why don't we go into the master bedroom and bathroom, and I'll give you a full tour, because I'm going to give you the master bedroom as an extra bonus circuit as well. So this is the main entrance to the master bedroom. You have seen now the laundry room in a previous video. We have the master bedroom over here, but we'll go there in a moment. And here's the bathroom that we've been working on and discussing before. Over here, we have a little outlet. This outlet is very important because that's where we are going to be plugging in the bidet. Some people say it's pretty awesome. It's the one that splashes water in your butt. I've never tried it, but everybody loves it. Here's a little toilet tank, but that's for a future episode on plumbing. And other than that, as I mentioned before, every single bathroom needs to have its own exclusive circuit, and that is a 20 amp circuit that is GFCI protected. But also, every house needs to be protected by AFCI, so I am protecting all of these circuits by AFCI, GFCI dual breakers. Right here, we have a little junction box. This is intended to be for the mirror. The mirror is going to be right here. I imagine, I'm not actually sure at this moment how the mirror plugs in because it's going to have lighting, and I assume it's going to go into some junction box because running a cable through the side or something would look probably pretty ugly. Finally, this is the vanity. The goal is to do like some kind of concealed toothbrushes and whatnot so that you don't make a mess and it keeps it nice and clean. This behind me is the junction box for the bedroom, and the reason I have a junction box is because the bedroom goes from side to side of the house, and we have steel, we have windows, we have headers, so it just makes it much easier to run like a star formation, if you will, for the different boxes. The thing about junction boxes is that they need to be available for working on them, and so there was a time when I used to be like, oh, you get a junction box, you get a junction box here, junction box there, and then when I learned the news, it's like, oh no, we cannot do that because otherwise you'd have holes everywhere on the drywall. Just wanted to mention that on the junction box right here for the bedroom, and I'm going to be using Wagos. They're amazing. Oh yeah, one last thing on the junction box, if they're metal, you need to tie the ground to the box. Welcome to the master bedroom. This is it. It's really not very difficult. The one thing I do like to do is to put a lot of little outlets everywhere because it's all about convenience. You don't want to be sitting somewhere and be looking like, oh, where's an outlet, where's an outlet? So that's why we have so many outlets. Code allows you to put distance-wise 12 feet from each other, so basically 6 and 6, but here they're actually a little bit tighter. Here I am also running an exclusive 15 amp circuit for all the wiring, and just like in the office, I am running 12-2 wire. It is relatively straightforward. It's all wired together. One thing that I actually did do is here, this is the closet area. There's one closet right here, there's another closet right there, is that I decided to put a whole bunch of outlets here in the closet because, I mean, you might be charging your phone and other kind of stuff very close to you. It's more of a convenience thing, kind of like I mentioned. Finally, up front right here, and you might be seeing renders here as I speak, here's where the bed will go. So this is the most important thing about this entire circuit, is that I measured so that I could have this outlet right here, and there would be a small side table next to the bed right here. So I made it higher, as you can see, from the standard height that we've been using. And then, of course, I want to have it look symmetric, so I have this distance right here. But over here, you might see that we ended up adding a little stud so that it would be at the same distance from the edge as the other one. And so with that, we're done with this episode. I hope you liked it. One thing is, I have not spoken about lighting at all, and I'm going to have its own exclusive lighting video and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to make smaller videos, so I hope you liked it. I hope you comment down below, you give us some tips. If you don't like something, well, comment down below. And with that, thank you for watching, and don't forget, build efficiently. Let's go rescue birds.